Did you know something huge just happened with the Ravens? They decided to bet everything on Derrick Henry for longer, and this could change everything you know about the team. You won't want to miss what's coming. There's strategy, drama, and a turnaround that could make the team much stronger. Stick with me until the end, and I'll tell you all the details that will surprise even the oldest fans. In a landscape where most NFL franchises avoid long-term financial commitments to running backs over 30, the Baltimore Ravens went against the trend and extended Derrick Henry's contract for 2 more years. The deal, worth $30 million with $25 million guaranteed, is not only a vote of confidence, but a clear sign that the team is betting everything on its current offensive model. This decision stands out because the market has increasingly devalued the running back position, especially after age 30, when performance tends to drop sharply. Derrick Henry, however, has never been an ordinary player. Even entering a career phase where many running backs see production decline, he remains a constant threat to any defense. The Ravens recognized his value and decided to lock him in until at least 2027. This sends a direct message to the rest of the league. The bet is on now with a proven, dominant, and still highly productive player. The contract extension also signals the team's intent to maintain its offensive identity, centered on the ground game and physical dominance. Baltimore's boldness is also explained by Henry's own trajectory. He's one of the few running backs in recent years who not only remained competitive past 30, but also elevated his level in crucial moments. The most recent season is proof of that. His durability, physical preparation, and ability to impact games immediately convinced the front office that the investment makes sense, even if the numbers go against the league's current pattern. In an era of short, conservative contracts, the Ravens chose to bet on the exception to the rule. More than just securing Henry's presence, the contract reinforces an internal message. The team is committed to winning now, with its key pieces aligned. And among those pieces, few were as decisive as Derrick Henry last season. His arrival completely changed the team's rushing attack, and that impact was visible from the very first games. When Derrick Henry was announced as a Raven, many wondered if he could still have a real impact after years of starring for the Titans. The answer came fast and on the field: 1,921 rushing yards in a single season, ranking second in the NFL, only behind Saquon Barkley. The immediate effect was felt not only in individual stats, but in Baltimore's offensive identity, which led the league in rushing yards with a total of 3,189. The Henry-Lamar Jackson duo became one of the most explosive pairs the NFL has seen in recent years. Henry's physical strength opened holes against defenses that previously contained Baltimore's ground game. He absorbed contact, broke tackles, and kept drives alive in critical moments, wearing down opponents. His presence forced offenses to put more players in the box, which created more space for passing plays. What was already a strong offensive unit with Lamar became a complete and unpredictable system with Henry's arrival. Baltimore not only ran the ball better, but also controlled the pace of each game more effectively. Another important factor was how Henry raised the competitive level of the whole group. The offensive line blockers had clearer targets and knew that even with partial blocks, Henry could still gain key yards. Lamar Jackson himself faced less pressure and didn't have to scramble as much on short downs. The result was a more balanced offense, less reliant on improvisation. The team improved clock management, third down efficiency, and, above all, late-game decision-making. This transformation wasn't just technical, but symbolic. Henry brought a winning mindset, used his starring and making big plays, which perfectly fit the Ravens' physical DNA. This new Baltimore became even clearer in moments when past and present met, right inside M&T Bank Stadium. The story between Derrick Henry and the Ravens runs deeper than many realize. In 2020, still with the Titans, he was responsible for one of the most painful defeats of the Lamar Jackson era. At M&T Bank Stadium, Henry rushed for 195 yards and threw a touchdown, eliminating Baltimore from the playoffs. That moment stuck in the franchise's and fans' memories, a symbol of a team unable to contain a dominant player in crucial games. 5 years later, the same stadium witnessed a symbolic turnaround. This time, Henry wore black and purple. In the wild card round against the Steelers, he rushed for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading the team to a commanding victory. The performance was a form of redemption, both personal and collective. Baltimore, once dominated by Henry's physical power, was now the one imposing that force on rivals. The cycle was complete with the same protagonist, but on the right side of history. The emotional impact of that game was as big as the technical one. The fans responded enthusiastically, recognizing that the player who once haunted them was now their Super Bowl hope. The performance against a division rival in a playoff game validated the Ravens' investment. Henry not only met expectations, but proved he's one of the few running backs capable of deciding postseason games single-handedly. That moment, linking past and present, fueled the entire organization. Confidence grew that Henry can lead the team in big games, and the perception that his cycle in Baltimore is just beginning. What makes this extension even more promising is the supporting cast, a group of young offensive talents who benefit directly from Henry's presence.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Derrick Henry's presence in the backfield doesn't just impact individual stats. It completely changes how the offense operates. With him on the field, defenses have to adjust their formations, retreat less, and commit more to stopping the run. This opens up space at the second level of the defense, which is precisely exploited by receivers like Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. Henry's constant threat directly allows these young talents more freedom to develop their game. Additionally, the Ravens' tight ends have become even more lethal weapons. Mark Andrews, one of the most consistent in the NFL, and Isaiah Likely, rapidly improving, have found more passing windows precisely because defenses are too focused on stopping the run. The play action, a play that fakes a run before passing, has become more effective, resulting in longer drives, fewer punts, and more points on the board. The offense's mechanics revolve around Henry, even when he doesn't touch the ball. This influence extends beyond the field. The presence of a veteran and respected player like Henry carries weight in the locker room. Younger players see him as an example of professionalism, discipline, and physical commitment. This kind of quiet leadership is essential for teams seeking consistency throughout the season. Henry's experience with the Titans, handling pressure situations in big games, is now a valuable asset for the Ravens, especially with the goal of returning to the Super Bowl. With a young, versatile, and increasingly cohesive roster, Henry's extension is not just a bet on the present, but a cornerstone for the group's growth as a whole. All of this further reinforces the impact he's having on the league's structure, revaluing a position that has been overlooked year after year. For years, running backs were seen as disposable parts in modern NFL. The logic was simple: run well with the ball, take hits, and quickly be replaced by someone younger and cheaper. But Derrick Henry is challenging that mindset. At 30 years old, he has already earned 5 Pro Bowl selections, was named Offensive Player of the Year in 2020, and has now become the first running back to rush for over 1,900 yards in 2 different seasons. What he's doing is literally historic. With stats placing him among the best of the last decade, Henry proves it's possible to maintain physical and technical excellence, even in a phase considered the final stage for his position. His recent playoff performances, season-long consistency, and quiet leadership are rare ingredients. He's also one of the few players with multiple 99-yard runs, something very few running backs even dream of achieving. Henry offers not just production, but explosion, experience, and consistency. The Ravens' contract extension, therefore, carries a greater meaning. It's not just a deal, it's a sports manifesto. Baltimore is telling the market that, yes, it is still possible to build a powerful offense around a dominant running back. Moreover, they're saying this figure could be central not only on first and second downs, but also in game-deciding moments, playoffs, and the pursuit of the title. The guaranteed contract value shows the team believes Henry will be a decisive factor for at least 2 more seasons. In doing so, Henry is writing a new chapter in the history of NFL running backs. He not only resists time, but redefines what it means to be a high-level running back at age 30. And as Baltimore keeps their trust in him, the league begins to see the future of the position in a new light. Henry is not just an exception. He may be paving the way for a new generation that intends to last longer and deliver more, even when everyone expects decline. Derrick Henry signed a contract that not only secures his future in Baltimore, but also redefines the Ravens' entire strategy for the coming years. This decision shows the team is ready to go all in to maintain their offensive strength and pursue important victories. With Henry leading the run game and a team full of talent around him, the future promises a lot of excitement and major achievements. What do you think of the Ravens' bet? Will this extension take the team to the top of the NFL? Share your opinion in the comments. Your insight might surprise everyone.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.